Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Lowe's out in Prosper, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or the like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I am just so happy that we've grown this community. So anybody that hits the like button definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers. And also follow me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me. And you can see that it is a late afternoon, early evening at this Lowe's. I often visit this Lowe's. So we're going to get into the shopping, and there are just so many things to be excited about today and just the future of this channel, because Cultivation Corner will be starting very soon. And for those that haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the Cultivation Corner on YouTube. Season 2 has started.
Y'all see the shirts that we're rocking? I mean, isn't this fly? This is fly. See, this could be in your closet. You know what I'm saying? We are selling these limited edition Cultivation Corner sweatshirts right now.
Season 2?
That's right.
Season 2.
Season 2. Listen, if you want one, you better get up on it, because like I said, they're limited. So
send us a DM in the Cultivation Corner Instagram so we can go ahead and get that custom sizing.
That's right.
You could be like us.
That's right. You don't want FOMO on this one, you guys. You need this is what couture.
Cultivation Couture.
Cultivation Couture.
And so definitely tune into Season 2, Episode 1, February 18, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's actually going to premiere right after this video. So hopefully we will see on the Cultivation Corner YouTube. And I also wanted to make another announcement. For those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie. I do daily shopping videos that revolve around plants. But if you notice that the music on my video today is going to be different, it's because I was able to source out an old friend of mine many years back to where he was able to get me some original tracks to change up the music on my YouTube channel. I want to give a shout out to Derek, DJ Bang Beats. He's the one who was able to get some awesome tracks, and I will continue to get some more original music on my YouTube channel. So that way I don't have to worry about sourcing non-copyrighted music from other artists. I'd rather just go through a good friend, and we consider ourselves family. I'm just glad that I was able to connect with him after so many years. Definitely go to djbangbeats.com if you want to book a party. He is based out in Houston, H-Town in the house. So hopefully you guys enjoy the new music for Grow Folds, because this is the type of music I will be moving forward with versus some of my more iconic sounds like Dreamer that you would actually hear at the very beginning of my plant shopping videos. So anyways, let's look at all of the plants that are available at this Lowe's. I'm really looking for plants that are a little bit different, a little more restocks. There are some exciting new restocks happening at big box stores. I know that at Home Depot, for instance, we are gonna look to see on the second part of this video if Home Depot is actually carrying Manjula Pothos in 8-inch hanging baskets, because I have been seeing some of the other content creators posting pictures and videos of Manjula Pothos. So we will see that. Hopefully you stay tuned to the very end when we visit Home Depot. For now, I am just going to show you some of the things that are available at Lowe's. You already know Lowe's is one of my go-to big box stores to go shopping at. You can see that they already have all of the seeds stocked up. So if you are a gardener or somebody that likes to do landscapes and garden and grow flowers, now is the time to actually start your seedlings. I know that currently in the North Dallas, which is where I'm based at, it is going to get really cold. We're about to get an Arctic blast. So starting your seeds indoors is the best time. That way you get a little bit of a head with your gardening and landscaping. I mean, spring is around the corner, but like I've told people, until February passes by, there are still chances of getting snow, ice. I mean, I think in the whole country is actually experiencing some odd weather. And so I just hope everybody is being safe. All of our plant foldies are being safe and enjoying themselves during the live premiere. You can see right here, I'm going to be looking at the 911 Rescue Me plant. These are the ones that are on clearance for 50% off. This one is an Epipremnum aureum neon pothos. And then we have a live transplant here, and this one is in a self-watering planter. This is originally $13.98, but it is 50% off. This is the silver band Marantha over here. And I'm just going to show you some more of these clearance plants. Let me know in the comment section what you think, but all of this rack right here is 50% off. Would you pick up some of these plants? Would you rescue them? Please leave that in the comment section below. And as you can see right over here, plant foldies, we have a bunch of these bromeliads. These are in the kokedama style. I like the look of these bromeliads. These are easy to care for plants, and you can see they are in a moss bowl. I like that they have a metal hook to actually hang them up. That would be a really nice setup. And you can see right over here, they are just hanging and looking super pretty. And then over here, I'm just gonna pick up a lot of these exotic angel plants by Costa Farms. You already know Costa Farms has several varieties to pick from, and you can see the plant pricing here. I am actually curious to see what Costa Farms exotic angel plant that you like. One of the plants that I am in search for is going to be the Manjula Pothos. I happen to find it at another Lowe's location, but as you can see right here, we have a Dieffenbachia. You know, care tips for this plant again is bright light, lots of it, and then also higher humidity levels if you're able to. And this should be able to grow in your care indoors if you're able to provide that environment. And it is all about your house's environment, whether a plant is going to really thrive or not. Like for instance, right over here, this is a beautiful croton gold dust. Love the look of it. I love the yellow leaves and just the speckling. It looks like somebody just splattered a bunch of yellow paint on it. This one is for $8.98, and I'm just going to continue to pick up some plants and take you alongside with me as I look at these plants at Lowe's. And you can't go plant shopping without finding a Hydra helix, or the correct way to say it is the Hedera helix or English ivy. Really love the look of this plant right here, and it is one of the more challenging house plants to grow. English ivy, the reason why they are a little bit more challenging to grow is because they are a little bit more spider mite prone. For some reason, whenever we're growing them indoors, they just attract spider mites. And my advice is, if you're going to grow an English ivy, grow it outdoors in a shaded area, but not in the ground, because I think some people actually mistaken my advice of growing English ivy outside as actually putting it in your landscape. You really don't want to do that as well, because this plant is very invasive. It can take over your lawn. What I mean is, if you're going to grow an English ivy, you can grow it in a container somewhere outside in a shaded patio area, and it's going to do fabulous. For some reason, certain plants, when you bring them indoors, are just more spider mite prone. I was told it's because their health is a little bit more compromised whenever you bring them indoors. And then you can see right here again, here is another Hydra helix. This one is a mini Adam ivy, and you can see that there is a little bit of a different leaf shape. I love how these leaves are a little smaller. They're a little bit more compact. And I'm actually curious to see if Costa Farms has how many varieties of English ivy. Maybe somebody from Costa Farms, if they ever run into my plant shopping videos, can give us like an actual number of the English ivy they offer. Again, exotic angel plants, English ivy are a staple to Costa Farms Exotic Angel series. So just let me know in the comment section if you actually grow English ivy. And another plant that I would recommend in anybody's plant collection for $15.98. This is an Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos. pothos. I love golden pothos. Any type of pothos plant is super easy. Here's the thing about golden pothos, or just pothos in general. If you just water the plant when it has dried out completely in terms of the soil, that's basically it. You just wait till the soil dries out. You just water it. It can tolerate lower light conditions. You can grow it as a trailing plant, a hanging basket, or a plant if you want to get really large leaves. Actually attach the vines onto a moss pole or some type of plank where the aerial roots can attach, and you will get large leaves. Like one of my favorite pothos plants, it's actually my favorite one, is the neon pothos. I love neon colored plants, and you can see this one right here is for $5.98. So plant foldies, I am just going to continue to pick up the plants and just show you what they have available at this Lowe's. Not 100% sure if it's got a restock, but you know, I always like to just go to big box stores and show you plants in general. It is part of my routine on a daily basis is to actually have a live premiere, so we can all sit here, if you make it on a live premiere, chat. And I will say welcome to all the new plant foldies that have made it into the chats, and for all the plant foldies that have created an Instagram account. Super proud of you guys, because later on this evening, when this video premieres, right at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on PETA's Planters Instagram page, we will be doing a live selling event. So definitely have your Instagram profile ready and log into the live selling event. And then you can see right here is another Hydra Helix. This one is the Spear Point English Ivy, one of my favorite looking ones, because you can see how small the leaves are. Very delicate looking leaves. And I'm just going to continue to pick up some more of these exotic angel plants. Let me know in the comment section what you think of these plants, and if you've already bought some of them from a big box store, let me know which ones you have. And you can see I just love plant hunting, seeing what plants they have available at a big box store like Lowe's. Again, this is by Costa Farms in a self-watering planter, Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. Really love the look of this plant. It is an easy plant, and we have a spathiphyllum right here, and this looks to have some interesting variegation going on with this. This is for $5.98, again by Costa Farms. Costa Farms has a lot of plants, and I'm super excited, plant foldies, to take you along with me as I go to PlantCon in Orlando. I will be flying in Friday morning to document all of the PlantCon adventures. This is my first time in Florida. I will be traveling with Luke, so he will be with me as well as we go to PlantCon together. And I've already bought a lot of the plants from Art Garden Flowers, plantstop.us, because you already know I love my aglaonemas, and those international sellers, or those vendors, tend to have more of the rare and uncommon aglaonemas. So we'll see what that looks like for PlantCon, and I am going on a nursery tour, so hopefully I will be able to get you a lot of content. I'm just really relieved that I was able to source out some new music, new original music that my friend created himself, so there wouldn't be any issues with copyright claims or ad revenue sharing. That has been a little bit of a frustrating situation for me, because the last couple of videos I've had some issues with some of the background music. So therefore I found a solution. I was able to connect with one of my friends. Again, his name is Derek. He is djbangbeats.com. Definitely check it out. And if you are a content creator and you're interested in getting him to make some original music, you can always contact him that way. But as far as all of the plants available at this Lowe's location, they've got large and small Dieffenbachia. Again, this is for $15.98. And you know, there are a lot of Dieffenbachias. Here's the thing about Dieffenbachias. Number one, they are really not pet friendly. It is one of the more toxic plants. So even like making cuttings from them, you really don't want to get the sap on your skin, because it can irritate it. And then as far as it being very toxic to to animals, definitely keep that away. Definitely keep Dieffenbachia away even from small kids. You don't really want to actually expose them to that type of plant. But as I pan around here, lots of plants to pick from, and I'm just going to keep showing you what they have available at this Lowe's. And one of the easier philodendron to grow, this is a philodendron Birkins. It's another plant that was really uncommon about 5 years ago. Now it's readily available. Now with philodendron Birkin, I just believe that the striping or variegation is really influenced by the amount of light you give. And the reason why I say this is because I have one that is actually growing in straight water or hydroponics, and I flood it with a grow light, and all of the new leaves that have come out have almost been extremely just like pure white with just a little bit of streaks of green. And you really want to make sure that you get that balanced variegation. Otherwise your plant is susceptible to crisping and browning, because variegation in general, especially when it gets to get super white, the plant really does require green, that chlorophyll, to be able to photosynthesize and actually create food for itself. And you already know this is a Grow Folds video. And that means I will feature, yes, you already know, Aglaonema. This one is a red Siam, Aglaonema or Aglaonema red Siam. It is the most common Aglaonema alongside with the Aglaonema silver bay. Just because a plant is common doesn't make the value of the plant any less. Honestly, the reason why a plant is very much commonly found is because the care tips are much easier for this plant. This is a low light tolerant plant. It is also drought tolerant, so you can get away with the plant being on the drier side. For me, somebody who doesn't really water my plants as often, if I don't resort to converting this plant, for instance, to a semi-hydroponics where I can just have a water reservoir in a self-watering planter, at least this plant is a little bit more forgiving if you do not water it right away. Now, I will say with Aglaonema, you don't want it to be in total drought for too long as well, because you get what you call dry rot, which is basically the roots become so dehydrated that they end up just rotting away as well. So as far as Aglaonema, though, you can see that there are many versions of the Aglaonema red Siam. Some of them are a little bit more red than others, and then some of them, it just is a little bit more green with a red border around it. I know one of my loyal plant foldies from Canada, Kathy, I know that she has been really trying to push out more red with the Aglaonema red Siam. Sometimes they don't really push out nearly as much red, even if you flood it with a lot of light through a grow light. I will say that some of it is just really pure genetics, but it doesn't hurt to give it a lot more light, because when a plant receives a lot more bright indirect light, they tend to grow a little bit more vigorous. The thing about Aglaonemas are that they are slow growers, and so that's the only problem with Aglaonemas. You know, typically I look for a plant that's low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and pretty vigorous in growth. Aglaonema would be a perfect plant except for the growth. It just takes quite a bit of time for them to push out new growth. Now, some of them are a little bit more vigorous in growth than others. I would say the more green varieties of Aglaonema, but even the undersides of this Aglaonema red Siam is gorgeous. You can see that there's little babies that are popping up, and that's really the most effective way to propagate Aglaonema, is to separate them from the mother plant. You can also take cuttings, but cuttings do take a while. If you are going to take an Aglaonema cutting, I would say you should just root it in water first. I think that's the fastest and most safe way to get a successful propagation from Aglaonema. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I am just picking this up. If you haven't already added an Aglaonema to your plant collection, please do. This is only for $15.98. If you do add an Aglaonema to your collection, leave that in the comment section below. I have this campaign where I really want to popularize Aglaonema. Tag me on any Instagram posts and also use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema, and we'll see if we can get it trending. And then over here, we have another type of Dracaena. I believe this is just Dracaena Riki, and this is another one by Costa Farms. And as far as Dracaena, just like Aglaonema, they are underrated, overlooked plants, but they are also easy to care for plants. I will pick up this Aglaonema Red Valentine, beautiful plant as well. You can see that pink plants in general are some of my favorite type of foliage color. And you can see this is a trending tropical plant by Costa Farms for $19.98 in a self-watering planter. I am so tempted to just continue to buy Aglaonemas. Like I can literally have the same Aglaonema version in my plant collection and not even flinch about adding it into my plant collection. I just feel like Aglaonema just brings so much joy to me because of the colors. They have very vibrant colors, and I just love that there's so many different varieties. Now, if you ever want to see more of the rare or uncommon Aglaonemas, you really want to get on these pages on Instagram, where a lot of these Indonesian plant sellers have some cool Aglaonema. If you look at the hashtag Aglaonema lovers or hashtag Aglaonema Indonesia, you will see these Instagram pages where they have so many cool hybrids. But let me go ahead and just keep showing you how gorgeous these plants are. And then again, let me know in the comment section what you think about these Aglaonema and the plants that I am showing you on this video today. I did want to mention that with this Aglaonema, for instance, you can see that it has a bloom. You want to cut the blooms off in Aglaonema. And the reason being is, I know some people might think it's really cute that there is a bloom on your plant, but the reason why you want to cut the blooms off of an Aglaonema is because if you keep the blooms on your plant, it's going to really stunt the growth of it, because it's going to put all of its energies toward the bloom versus actually producing leaves. So for me, if you want more growth from your Aglaonema and you see blooms, cut it immediately. Otherwise, it's going to really stunt the growth. Just so you know, a little care tip about Aglaonemas. And then you can see right over here, we have Calathea in a self-watering planter. That one is for $15.98. And then the purple ones right over here are Trending Tropical Plants by Costa Farms. These are for $19.84. And I just haven't done very well with Calatheas. They are the biggest heartbreakers in my opinion. And they're just very challenging plants to grow long-term indoors, unless you are just one of these experts that have like really good environment and humidity in your home. I just feel like Calatheas are more of a niche plant where you really have to dedicate yourself to giving it the best environment you can possibly give it. And then as you can see right here, I love showing urban jungle plants as well as live trend plants. So you can see right here, we've got a philodendron lemon lime. Now this one is more of a climbing plant, $13.98. Love that yellow foliage. It is one of those plants that is commonly found, and I just love urban jungles planters as of late. I love the terracotta look. I recently got a bunch of succulents from Succulent Asia, and those were some rare Sansevieria that I ended up potting up in terracotta planters. I just think that terracotta in general has a very classic look about it, as well as just easy care plants like this. This is another Sansevieria. Love the dark foliage, and this one again is for $13.98. Urban jungle is another great place to get plants, live trends as well. If you're looking for very modern looking planters though, I would say live trends tends to take the crown if you're going to compare it to Costa Farms, live trends, and urban jungle. I love all three of these plant nurseries equally though, because they always have something unique that they can offer. And I will say all three of them have some really good value and prices. So if you're ever going to go shopping and you're looking to save money, big box stores is definitely key. But I also tell people to always support your local small businesses and just make sure that you support small businesses as well. I do a lot of big box store plant shopping videos because I can show you beautiful plants like the Sansevieria bird's nest, for instance, by Urban Jungle, $13.98. But you know, big box stores, it's just more readily available in most people's locations. I just happen to be very fortunate to live out in the North Dallas area. You know, the Frisco, Prosper, McKinney, Allen, Plano, Texas areas, they just tend to have a lot of really nice big box stores. But also Dallas has a bunch of small plant shops, and I really am excited for you guys all to watch the Cultivation Corner Season 2, Episode 1 premiere at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. It will be the story of Lupita, who is the CEO and owner of Pita's Planters, a small plant shop in the heart of downtown Dallas. And I hope you will eventually take the time to visit her plant shop. She has really inspired me as somebody who makes content for YouTube in terms of like plant shopping, because if you have a dream and you feel passionate about it, work and dedication and passion and just being kind is really going to propel you to doing great things. And I will even say for all the plant foldies that always invest their time to watch my videos, whether it is a shopping video, whether it's a relaxing plant, chores video, whether it's just me being silly on a live stream, I really appreciate it. I've seen our community grow. I've always said that kindness really is the one factor that I want to highlight in our community, and I hope that we continue to grow with that momentum, and we also get grow in that momentum of actually acquiring more Aglaonema, because look at how gorgeous this Aglaonema White Rain is for $19.98 by Urban Jungle. Look at that variegation or just the patterns of the leaves. I love how there's a faint yellow glow from the plant. It's just a really pretty plant. And then as far as a low light tolerant plant, ZZ plant, this one is a live transplant for $13. I think is it for $13 or $14.98 in a self-watering planter, which makes it even more of a easy care plant, because you don't always have to worry about having to water the plant. Here's the thing about self-watering plants. If you have a self-watering planter, especially if a plant is in a soil substrate, you still have to be mindful because there is a potential situation where it could root rot. It's not always the best case. I would say self-watering planters are really better for like semi-hydroponic substrates like lechuza pond or leca. But if you have a self-watering planter, just make sure that the wick that pulls up the water is not fully drenched. Like you don't want to have the plant sitting in full water. You really want the string to pull up the water, so it needs to just be right above the water reservoir, if that makes any sense. And then you can see right here, Peperonia obtusifolia variegata, beautiful plant as well for $14.98 in a self-watering planter. This is again a easy to care for plant, although I've been told that peperomias are not really plants that people are after. For me, that is another plant that's easy care and is readily available at a big box store. Same thing with this Peperomia Ginny. Love this plant. And the thing about the Peperomia Ginny is if you are able to give it even more bright indirect light, it will sun stress to the point where you will get a lot more red borders, like red color on the borders of the leaves, which just makes it so stunning. And then I'm just going to keep pulling up more plants. Hopefully you are enjoying some of the plants I'm pulling up today. I just enjoy going to Lowe's, and even if you've seen this Lowe's last week, you never know if there is a plant restock. I have found some really interesting plant finds when I really didn't think there would be a restock, and all of a sudden in some corner of that big box store I find an uncommon or rare plant I haven't seen at a big box store. And again, shout out to my friend Derek of DJ Bang Beats. He was the one that provided this free non-copyrighted music, his original music that he made, and I'm hoping to acquire even more tracks. I'm hoping that he will make some specific Grow Folds tracks. So definitely check out his social medias. The link will be in the video description. So that way I don't have to really worry about whether I will have copyright claims or ad revenue sharing, because I'm leaning into an old friend. And I just feel like when you make connections with people, they always end up taking care of you. And I'm just glad that even our friendship, even though we hadn't really talked for more than a decade, I was able to get his contact information, and he was just really kind to provide some awesome music I do like the lo-fi or lo-fi type sound, and so hopefully I'll get even more tracks. I know that some of the tracks that I have utilized in all of my other plant shopping videos, I really enjoyed them. I think the artists were great, but for some reason, YouTube hasn't been the most easy to work with in terms of just to add revenue sharing. It's really technical, and I know you guys aren't really here for it, but it was just really frustrating as far as a content creator, because not only do I make content obviously to give you guys some entertainment, a sense of community. For me, it's also to provide a little bit of passive income. I just feel like if you're putting that much work into it, hopefully you kind of reap the benefits of that as that well. Anyways, let me get off of me rambling and just keep showing you the plants. You can see right over here, we have a Scindapsus exotica, and this is by Live Trends. Look at how gorgeous the silver foliage is on this plant. Here's the thing about Scindapsus. They're very similar to Pothos plants or Epipremnum aureum. The thing about it is, people will call them the silver pothos. That's not really the correct term, because it's a different type of genus of plant. But what I found is, I used to think that Scindapsus were mostly just silver foliage plants, but there are many new variegated varieties of them, and I would love to acquire some more eventually. With the live viewing party for Cultivation Corner Season 2 happening tonight, I spent the day actually doing plant chores and really just trying to get things set up. I know that we are going to be experiencing quite a bit of cold weather, so as this video premieres, I will say, plant folies, please hang on and make sure that you guys tune into the Season 2 Cultivation Corner live premiere again at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time this evening. I am planning on getting another live stream right before the live premiere, and if you guys want to jump into the live premiere video of Peta's Planters episode 1, you can start chatting. What I've noticed is once the video is actually uploaded and scheduled, you can start chatting, so you can kind of use that as more of like an old school chat room, if that makes any sense. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I just picked up some plants. It doesn't look like there is a massive restock, but it's always nice to like show plants, so I'm just gonna walk around and pick up a couple more plants. Let me know in the comment section what plants you like, what plants you've acquired. You already know I love any type of engagement when it comes to the comments, as long as you demonstrate respect and kindness in the comment section. We've had a couple of people be not the most friendliest, but you know what? Rather than for me to lash out, I would rather just wish them, kindness. And I will pin negative comments, because then it will maybe perhaps remind people you might need to think before you click, especially if you're going to criticize or just be not a kind person on social media. So that's the thing about the plant foldy community. It is all about that kindness, and we really don't have tolerance for people that are choosing to be negative or unkind. So anyways, let me get off my soapbox and just keep showing you guys the plants. I'm just again glad that I was able to figure out some of my the musicality on this video, and just being able to move to a different direction. Sometimes people get redirected in a different path, but I feel like, change is good, and I am just glad that I'm able to get that support from some old friends. So let's go ahead and keep looking at these plants. Here's the thing about this propagation station. I love that it has those dracaenas here for $18.98. I just don't know if I would pay that price, but as far as just the aesthetic and look on it, Live Trends, that just looks fabulous. It would be an easy to care for plant. Same thing with this plant I'm picking up right here. This is a Dracaena janicrae campacta for $5.98 in a 3.5-inch planter. Like I said again, with exotic angel plants by Costa Farms, there's so many varieties to pick from, and you can see that there's a lot of these crotons. For instance, this is a common croton. This is the croton gold dust. So I'll just continue to show you what other Costa Farms plants they have available for sale at this Lowe's. And it looks like somebody changed their mind in terms of these crotons. Love the look of this one right here. Beautiful red and orange. It just looks like a bush that is on fire. And that's the thing about crotons. Some people really don't like the look of it. And oftentimes crotons really just make appearances at big box stores and local nurseries, that like at least the larger forms, during the fall months of the season. And I think it's because people attribute to their colors to more of the fall colors. The thing about it is crotons are actually plants that are native to Southeast Asia, which means these plants are receiving a lot of humidity. They're receiving a lot of bright light. They just thrive in tropical environments. So to see a bunch of crotons out when it's the colder months where the days are shorter, it's just really interesting what purpose some of these plants change whenever it comes to a different type of country like the United States, where it's definitely more of an ornamental seasonal plant versus a plant that would be able to grow long-term outside. Now this one right here is a Hawaiian spider plant, so it's different than the typical spider plant. This one is a little bit more greener with its stripes, and it's a beautiful plant as well. And then as I pick up around here, $16.98. This is a Hoya of some sort. I don't know the actual plant ID for Hoya. So for those that are actually Hoya heads or people who love collecting Hoyas, leave that in the comment section below. And that's a thing, I encourage you guys to put your plant insights, plant commentary in the comment section. I know, especially during the live premiere chats, if you ever catch a live premiere chat, I am always asking people to leave comments. The reason being is I just like reading them and also responding, and just to create more of a dialogue outside of just the live premiere chats, because I understand that not everybody can make it at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on a daily basis, but you can still continue a conversation that way. As far as the plants that you're looking at, it really does look like we don't have a lot of new plants, but we do have this Hedera helix. I love that Hedera helix right over there. That one is for $5.98. That is the wonderful English ivy. And then what else do we have here? We've got a Fittonia plant and just lots of Costa Farms exotic angel plants. The one Costa Farm exotic angel plant I am really looking for is more Manjula Pothos. I am seeing them pop up. So hopefully when I go to the next big box store to go shopping, I will find a Manjula Pothos at Home Depot, because I've seen a lot of people posting pictures and their plant finds. I would love to see a Manjula Pothos hanging basket. Here is another plant though that I would recommend growing in your plant collection, especially if you like neon colored plants. This is a Dracaena Limelight. It is a plant that can get fairly large, but look at how gorgeous that coloration is. And then you can see right here, here's another Hedera helix. Love this plant, and it's another plant that I definitely enjoy showing. I know some of you guys might find it a little bit cringy that I say it, but you know what? As I've made my plant content, I mean, I've been doing this for close to more than a year. I have just gotten really comfortable with being my most authentic self, whether it's me choosing to be faceless on YouTube, whether it's me pronouncing certain plant IDs incorrectly. I mean, I'm not perfect by any means, and you know, I am, you know, open to feedback. Obviously I am, but sometimes, you know, you want to just stick to what you're comfortable with, and I'm comfortable saying Hedera helix, and I think some of our plant foldies like that. Let me get back to this plant though. This is a Dracaena dorado. It's another plant for $12.97. Super easy to care for plant. It is another one that can tolerate lower light conditions. So if you want those underrated plants, this is the plant shopping video you need to be watching, or at least my plant content, because I'm always going to be an advocate when it comes to more of the common easy care plants. This one right here is an Epipremnum aureum Snow Queen Pothos. And even though it is labeled as the Marble Queen Pothos by Costa Farms, this definitely looks like more of a Snow Queen Pothos, because if you look at the leaves, it's got more white variegation versus cream. There is less speckling of green. There's more white on it. Maybe it's just a very highly variegated Marble Queen Pothos. Either way, stunning plant. I ended up buying it for $20.84. I bought 2 of them actually at this Lowe's location, and I wouldn't mind getting a third one. Same thing with the pothos plant. I could have a whole room of just pothos plants or Epipremnum aureum, and they are one of those plants that are just very much fuss free. And even if it's just a green variety like this, who doesn't like a plant that's gonna grow for you very easily with very minimal care? It just makes common sense, or at least I feel like it makes common sense. Sometimes we get so fixated with certain houseplants where we want to just do everything we can, whether it's to buy a bunch of grow lights, whether we have humidifiers, whether we have certain soil substrates, quality of water, certain fertilizers, to the point where we're doing everything we can just to keep the plant alive. But a pothos plant, you don't have to do a lot and it's going to thrive for you. Same thing with this Dracaena dorado here, $12.98. Not a bad price at all for a 6-inch planter. And now we have teleported into the next big box store, which is Home Depot. So we're going to go big box store plant shopping at the Home Depot out in McKinney, Texas. This is right off of Custer Road. And so we're just going to be picking up some of the plants as we made an entrance here. And plant foliage, you can see that we have another Aglaonema red cyan. This one I think is around $19 in a terracotta planter. This one is, I think, by Nature's Way, and you can see we have a Hoya carnosa right over here, as well as a gorgeous spider plant. This is the Bonnie version, where you can see that it's got curling leaves. Really like the look of that. And this one is for $14.98 by Vigoro Plants. And the reason why we are at Home Depot today is we are going to be looking for the elusive Manjula Pothos. They have Manjula Pothos hanging baskets apparently that are popping up, as well as Costa Farms exotic angel plants that I've seen on sale for, I think, 3 for $12. So if I'm able to find that, I'm definitely going to be buying that. But as you can see right here, we've got an Aglaonema Silver Bay. This one is also a classic plant, another plant that we definitely need to add into our plant collections. So if you don't have one already, definitely check it out. But as you can see right here, we also have an Epipremnum aureum or golden pothos, super easy plant. And the thing about it is, I haven't been to Home Depot lately, so as far as the plants, they are definitely getting some new plants here. Home Depot houses the Leaf Joy series proven winter plants, so that's something we're going to be taking a closer look at in just a bit to see if there are any proven winter plants, new ones, a new restock. So we'll see if that's the case. And then we also have an Aglaonema White Rain here. I was able to get one of these, actually, a large version of it, and just look at how stunning it is. So if you're looking for large Aglaonema, I would say Home Depot houses a lot of these inexpensive ones, and you can see this one is actually in bloom. Like I said, again, with Aglaonemas, you want to make sure that you're cutting the blooms so it doesn't stun your plant. But we are just going to continue to walk around here, and I'll just keep showing you the plants. You can see that I am focusing on the Aglaonemas because who doesn't love an Aglaonema? Again, please leave in the comment section what you think about some of these plants, and we're just going to keep walking around Home Depot and do some shopping today. I did want to ask the plant foldies, what do you think of the Alocasia poly? Is that a plant that you would want to add to your collection, or would you choose to just get a simple syngonium? And here's what I learned about syngoniums. They are very thirsty plants. I used to think that they were easy care plants, but honestly, they are a little bit more challenging for anybody that isn't as big of a waterer as like me. And then we also have a peperomia frost right here. Beautiful plant, but like I said, again, as far as peperomias, I didn't realize that they were also plants that a lot of people overlook, and they're underrated. And then as I spin around here, you can see that we do have even more syngoniums. These ones are by Nature's Way. And so the plants that you'll see typically at Home Depot would be Nature's Way, Vigoro plants, Proven Winners plants, and sometimes Costa Farms. Now, Costa Farms is pretty much everywhere, but the majority of plants you will typically see at Home Depot are really going to come from Proven Winners if you're looking for indoor tropical plants, Nature's Way, and Vigoro plants. And right over here, we do have a green Hedera helix. This Hedera helix, or just green version of an English ivy, is a common plant that you will see at Home Depot, and you can see that the price isn't bad, as well as these pothos plants. So if you're going to choose a plant, this one is for $14.96. This one is a golden pothos, but if you notice that the Home Depot golden pothos are a little bit more higher variegation. So even with golden pothos, it really depends on the variegation. They range from different types, and I think a lot of the variegation is influenced by the amount of light you provided. So the more light you give a golden pothos, or at least bright indirect light, don't put it in full sun, it will give you better variegation. And I've seen that happen. And then you can see over here, this one is a Dracaena for $14.96. Look at how beautiful the green leaves are. And that's the thing about Dracaenas. I say this in every single video of mine, but I don't see a lot of people talking about Dracaenas, more so even just really posting pictures of their Dracaenas on social media. And then you can see over here, we do have cordyline plants. And as much as I love the pink and magenta looking leaves, it just is a plant that will not do as well indoors. And then look at these gorgeous Alocasia regal shields. Another plant that you can get at Home Depot for a really nice price, a pretty good price. And it's already a well-established large Alocasia. I haven't had the best luck growing them indoors because they tend to just get spider mites. And speaking of beautiful plants, Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf trees are available at Home Depot, but I did want to pan around here and show you how gorgeous this cordyline plant is. Unfortunately, these plants, whenever you take them indoors, they tend to get spider mites, and it's because they just, their health just becomes a little bit more compromised. They really prefer to be outside. And as far as Ficus lyrata, they just prefer to have a lot of light. So you have to just know what your plant care tips are in order to be able to grow these plants successfully. You can see Aglaonema Silver Bay. This is a large one. I think it's within the $29 range, but it is definitely worth the price considering it is a large plant already. And basically you get an instant gratification because you don't have to wait for that Aglaonema to get to that size. It's already ready to go. And you can see these beautiful Sansevieria plants, $14.98. That's actually a pretty good price considering it's already a tall plant and it's in a 6-inch planter. I am getting more so into Sansevieria just because they've always been an easy care plant, but they're a plant that you don't necessarily have to worry so much about the watering, nor do you have to worry about the lighting conditions because they can tolerate low light. But as I spin around here, we're going to walk around and see what other plants they have. It is quite cold in North Dallas, so you can see some of their outdoor plants have been brought indoors just to prevent them from freezing. But you can see this table right here has a bunch of Sansevieria. I'm actually tempted to buy the one right over there at the very middle with that variegation. These are all for $8.98. But before we get into that, I did want to start talking about some of the Proven Winner plants here. So you can see that Proven Winners has different types of plants. They have the ones in 5-inch planters for $19.98. And then they also have the larger versions, the 6-inch ones, I think for $29. And we also have the Leaf Joy H2O Bowl series. But you can see this is a Ficus elastica Chloe. And what I like about the Ficus elastica Chloe is it looks like a burgundy, but the leaves are more compact, they're smaller, and they're rounder in shape. So you can see that there is a Ficus elastica taniki. Look at on the planter here. I do like the planter. It's not as flamboyant as some of the other planters I've seen. I just wish they would have a solid matte finish about it. But either way, Proven Winner plants are just as great as, say, Costa Farms plants. I love the fact that Proven Winners will offer something a little bit different, and we'll see that in just a sec. But even the Ficus elastica or rubber tree plants, I'm just glad that they are readily available. If you're able to provide them with more bright indirect light, then you should be able to grow these successfully indoors. And then I'm just going to keep walking around here, and you can see this is definitely a new plant. Super exciting. This is a Philodendron El Chaco Red for only $19.98, and it is already growing in hydroponics, so straight water. It is in a Leaf Joy series H2O bowl. Here's the thing about Philodendron El Chaco Red. You can see that it's got velvety texture leaves, meaning it's number one, going to need higher humidity levels, and number two, it's going to be a little bit more spider mite prone. So you have to really watch for the plant. I would spray it with neem oil, treat it at least once a week, just to make sure you don't get any plant pests. But I love the fact that they have a new Philodendron ready to go for the Leaf Joy series H2O bowl. So this one is literally growing in straight water. And so some people like myself, if I were to buy this, I would actually take it out of the hydroponic setup and put it in lechuza pond or leca. If you're going to grow that in semi-hydroponics, I do think that it would be easier for me to grow. And you can see they even have a Philodendron Burke in here. This one's kind of interesting because it has a half moon. It looks like it's reverted a little bit, but needless to say, beautiful plant. And when you're growing a plant in water and it's already got water roots, it makes it a lot easier for the plant to grow. The only thing I would say about growing a plant in just straight water is you're going to need to give it nutrient solution. Otherwise, the plant's not going to be able to grow as quickly. And it's always interesting that Proven Winners actually renames its plant. So this is Philodendron Fall Leaves. Although I'm not 100% sure what the common philodendron name is. Let me just keep picking up some plants and showing you what they have available. You can see we have another Calathea orbifolia, beautiful plant here, and you can see that it is pretty healthy. I just love the leaves, but it's very tempting. The thing about it is, if you don't give it enough of the environment that it requires, which is higher humidity levels, lots of bright indirect light, and consistent watering, the leaves will start to crisp up and brown up. So it is what it is in terms of just what that plant looks like in a big box store. They look so pretty, but give it 2 to 3 weeks. And I know I sound somewhat negative, maybe slightly bitter, but I just haven't been able to grow that plant successfully. But as far as a Ficus elastica, this one is the ruby version. These plants are super easy as well, especially if you put them in front of a south-facing window or a west-facing window, someplace where they get a lot of light. And you'll see we have lots of beautiful plants right over here. You saw the alocasia, and now look at this. This is a Philodendron Fall Leaves, and I love the dark foliage on this specific plant. Like, I'm almost tempted to purchase it. Not 100% sure if this is some type of new hybrid or what it is. If you know the common name of this philodendron, please leave that in the comment section. But you can see that the roots are well established. It's got beautiful brown foliage on the leaves. What a beautiful plant. It reminds me of chocolate leaves. I would just call this philodendron chocolate if I'm going to rename the plant. And then you can see over here, we just have a regular, and I say regular, this is actually an Epipremnum aureum summer night, which is also known as a common name for it would be the golden pothos. You can see that it's got some well-established roots. Pothos plants can grow in water long term. They're a little bit more tolerant of getting less nutrients, but if you want them to explode, you really want to give plants that are in a hydroponic situation nutrient solution. And I've shown that in a previous video on how to mix a nutrient solution. You can see again, I'm so tempted actually to buy an El Choco Red. This one is for $19.98, but this one has a little bit of cosmetic damage. I would still hope somebody would pick up this plant and purchase it. As far as this philodendron, again, it does like to climb, so you're going to need to give it a moss pole or a totem pole. And that's another thing I did want to go touch base on is when we do our shopping videos or plant shopping videos, I do want to give you insights on how a plant naturally grows, because if you give it the way it give it the environment a plant naturally wants to grow, whether it's crawling, whether it's climbing, whether it's trailing, or whether it's just sitting on top of a substrate, you will get the maximized beauty of the plant. You know, plants will change their leaves, they will mature, but it really does take a certain level of environment that they're used to for them to really give you that full potential. But the El Choco Red, what a beautiful plant. And it does remind me of my co-host on the Cultivation Corner, Steven. He loves philodendrons. And speaking of the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, as we premiere tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, please make sure you are subscribed to the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. Do a search if you can't find it. All of the season 2 will be on that. I know that the original season, the very first episode was actually premiered on my YouTube channel, which is Grow Folds. And I also wanted to point out that if you've been watching my videos and you haven't already, number one, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because you'll get daily 1-hour plant shopping videos with a little speckle of plant chores, maybe a house plant tour soon. But make sure you're double checking whether you have all notifications set versus just personalized notifications. If you have personalized notifications, it may not always push out that YouTube video of mine to you. And I actually upload shorts videos and other videos as well. So double check that. And again, if you ever want to start chatting with other plant foldies, you don't have to wait for the video premiere to start. You can actually come on a little bit early and start chatting. You can consider these videos that are already scheduled to premiere at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, for instance, as almost like a chat room, kind of like old school chat rooms. I don't know if you guys have been able to go into one of those, but those are interesting when like Yahoo had chat rooms. But anyways, let me get back to the plant. So you see that I'm just picking up a lot of these H2O bowls. These are for $19.98. Now, if they were on sale, sometimes they'll put them on sale, I would totally buy an El Choco Red today. But that's really the restraint you have to have whenever you're going shopping at a big box store, especially me, where I am going into a big box store pretty much daily. It is a little bit challenging to just not spend money because you run into gorgeous plants. And I'm glad that I went to Home Depot. I can't really see any signs of the Manjula Pothos, but I'm not going to give up. But I am excited to see that there are some new releases of plants from Home Depot. And that's really the goal, is to get, all of these gorgeous plants shown to you guys. So I will just keep walking around and picking up these plants. You can see right here, this is a philodendron jungle boogie. It's a large form, and you can see that this is the green form of all of the serrated philodendrons. Beautiful plant, very easy to care for plant. And yes, it's just a green form. Now they have the variegated version, which is the philodendron ring of fire, but even the green form is a pretty one. They have the philodendron golden crocodile, which is the neon aurea form. So I have those two. I need a jungle boogie. I have the original mother plant, which is basically the philodendron Pluto, but you'll see that I'll just keep picking up these plants and showing you all of the gorgeous proven winner ones. here are my thoughts on calatheas. They're just better plants, at least for me personally, to just look at whenever I'm at a big box store and just really admire how gorgeous the foliage is. But in terms of growing them as a house plant, I just wouldn't recommend them for beginners. They're just a little bit more challenging plants, and I salute anybody who's able to grow those plants long term. And you can see right here, this is the serrated philodendron. This is a philodendron golden crocodile. Beautiful plant for $19.98. And I love Proven Winner plants because they do have some healthy looking plants. I love the planters that they have, and I hope that this year they continue to push out even more interesting philodendrons and just house plants in general. I'm just glad that Proven Winners has actually gotten into the house plant game, because for the most part, Proven Winners is really known for the gardening or landscaping plants. So the indoor tropical plants, I'm glad that they've started to really delve into that business. I am a huge supporter of Proven Winners and hope that you guys will also go to Home Depot and go shopping for Proven Winners plants. So you can see that they just have a little section here. Some Home Depots really carry a lot of Proven Winner plants. I would say this one is hit or miss, but as you can see here, this is where I was going to look for. So the Vigoro hanging baskets, I was hoping that I would run into a Manjula Pothos, but just from the get-go, they do have a bunch of high variegation golden pothos. So I'm not complaining about that, because as far as the pothos plants, it is another plant that I feel like we should trend. But somebody was telling me the reason why we don't really have to hype up pothos is people will buy them regardless. I agree. I just wish that more people would be more enthusiastic about sharing their pothos collection. There's a lot of people that will get on social media and really post some beautiful variegated monsteras, variegated philodendrons, aroids in general, but I don't see as many Instagram accounts or social media platforms really celebrating pothos plants, and I just think that they are awesome. You can see that these are by Vigoro plants for $19.98. Really good value for an 8-inch planter. You can see that they've got some really good variegation, and I would just recommend a pothos plant even from Vigoro hanging baskets. These ones look to be pretty healthy, and so that's the thing with hanging baskets. They do require a little bit more attention because they dry out a little bit faster. So you're going to have to monitor the watering levels if you're going to keep Epipremnum aureum golden pothos in a hanging basket. I do recommend them as a trailing plant, but if you want those large leaves, put them on some type of support where the aerial roots start to attach, and the leaves will get larger and larger and may even eventually fenestrate to the point where they become a cost-effective or another alternative to acquiring a variegated monstera. It kind of looks like that once it starts to fenestrate. But let me just keep picking up these plants. There are just hanging baskets. It doesn't look like we have Manjula Pothos at this location, but I like to go plant shopping. I like to go hunting. I like being in big box stores and really recommending people to go shopping there. So you will see more frequent visits to Home Depot, because now that I've seen that there are Manjula Pothos, I will be searching for that. And hopefully I'm successful in finding it and really sharing that journey with you as well. So plant folies, if you have made it this far into the video, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. I would really appreciate the support, and also just leave as many comments for the video as well. You already know I love all of that engagement, and if you know people that need to go plant shopping or are fans of plants, please share my video link as well with them. We are so close to 12,000 subscribers, hoping that we will get that accomplished by the end of February. We'll see. It's just taking a little bit longer, honestly, but what I'm most excited about, though, is it's not always about the number of subscribers that you have. It's the number of engaged followers. And I can tell that even in the live premieres, there are more people watching consistently on the live chats, even for the ones that are not plant shopping videos, because oftentimes whenever I do a non-plant shopping videos, there's less engagement, but I'm just glad that you guys are a little bit more open to that. So didn't find the Manjula Pothos. We're gonna walk through here really quickly and then see what plants they have. But as you can see right over here, these are a bunch of these ferns, these Boston ferns that were brought in because it is about to freeze. So we'll look at the Sansevieria and pretty much end this video in just a second. I am excited that I do have new music on this channel, so hopefully you guys enjoyed snippets of the new tracks I have. I know some people have been asking me to change it up. Well, there you go. It's 2025, new year, new me, new music on Grow Folds. Let's just end this video off by showing you some of the Sansevieria. So you can see that these are the bird's nest form, but I am really attracted to getting one of these right here. You can see that these are for $7.98. I may end up coming back for one of these Sansevieria because number one, they're super healthy. I really like the coloration. And ever since I got some rare Sansevieria starfish, from Succulent Asia, go to succulentasia.com if you want some rare succulents and Sansevieria. I have become a little bit more intrigued with the different varieties of Sansevieria, and I didn't just realize how easy they are. These are really plants that I need to be adding into my plant collection because they don't require a lot of light and they don't really require a lot of water. So that is a really good characteristic for plants that make them conducive to an easy care experience. So let me know in the comment section what you think about these Sansevieria, but I'm just going to pick these up and then eventually just get you guys hyped up and excited for the season 2 live premiere episode 1 of the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast. But as far as the value of these plants, $7.98, really love the Sansevieria. It's a beginner plant. It's an easy care plant. It is a plant that you must go plant shopping for because of those characteristics. This is the Sansevieria I'm thinking I'm going to purchase. I would have bought it when I went to this Home Depot today, but we'll see if I come back for it. Beautiful plant. If you've enjoyed today's video, please press the thumbs up or like button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you watching today's video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on at Grow Folds. This is Richie. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.